Hi, thank you so much for joining my TikTok Live. Today I'm going to be talking about personal and business branding. This goes for personal brands, people who are trying to get noticed on the internet, or maybe you are just a student here on TikTok trying to figure it out. I've been doing marketing and branding for a good 6 years now. I do a lot of these kind of tutorials and stuff like that on Instagram. So I do my best to share advice on how people can stay focused and really shine on social media to get attention from brands, companies, employers, etc. So when you're doing your personal and business branding, it's important that you stay focused and you know exactly what to share on the internet. It's really hard to kind of sign up for an app like TikTok, think that you're going to create your reputation, and it doesn't necessarily work out because you're not really staying focused at hand on what you need to do. So personal branding, I always tell people that it basically means your reputation, what you do best, and how you want people to think of you. Now, the thing is, when it comes to personal branding, you can control your message and what you share on the internet, but you can't necessarily control what people think of you. But the best that we can do, hi, thanks for joining, Soranzu. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But the most that we can do from a personal branding perspective is really put our best effort into really, I'd say, focusing on what we want to share on the internet. Because there's so much that we can talk about from a personal branding perspective, and it's really, really hard to stay focused, especially when people are trying to get likes and comments and really build a reputation for what they do best online. So when you're building your personal brand, you really want to think about what do you want to be known for, and you want to stick with that topic or that idea as much as possible, because if you're kind of all over the place, if you're talking about cooking and then sports and then TV and then movies, people are going to be a little confused about who you are and how you can add value to their life. So when you're thinking about your personal brand, think about how you can add value to people's lives, how you can have fun, be yourself, and be creative at the same time so that you can promote or inspire people to do the same thing. Maybe you're an entertainer and you have a certain talent that you want to focus on. So you can do different variations of that talent. And I always tell people in 2020, this whole COVID-19 era really taught us that we want to learn a lot about an individual, if they're a comedian or not. That's why sometimes on TikTok, I notice some people are really, really successful if they bring in their family members, or they show their friends, or they show different parts of their life, like going to school or work, running their business, etc. So try to create a game plan and an idea that's going to work for you. You don't have to overexpose yourself or share too much about what you do behind the scenes, but it's a great way to bring people into your world and show them what you like, what you don't like, what you're into, and different things that you're working on right now from a personal, relationship, or a work or business perspective. So when you're building your brand and you figure out what you want to talk about, you know the apps that you want to use, like Instagram or TikTok, for example. I really think that you should definitely have a schedule. Ask yourself, how many times a day am I going to post? Which days of the week am I going to go live? I think going live once you hit 1,000 followers on this app is really important. It's one of the best ways to build your reputation and show people a different side of you and make yourself available to your audience. So building a personal brand, it doesn't have to be orchestrated and super confusing. It just has to make sense to you and the audience that you want to attract. So the other part of building a brand too is you want to figure out, who am I trying to attract? What age group of people do I want to attract with my personal brand? Do I want to sell something? Do I want to show people that I'm all inspirational and I meditate and give them advice on how they can succeed in life? Or am I just here to kind of show my talents and skills and let people know that, hey, if they're having a bad day, they can check out my page and put a smile on their face based on the comedy or the entertainment that I share. So once you figure out, okay, I'm going to educate, entertain, or inspire people, make sure that you show up, with a game plan And here on TikTok, it's a little bit easier. You can do videos, but definitely show people tutorial videos of how you do what you do. Don't worry about competition. There's no way that anybody can copy you, especially if you have your own brand sound, you have your own brand voice, you have a real story behind what you do, because let's face it, we love celebrities and sometimes we like influencers. But the thing that really makes these influencers and celebrities successful is when they actually start talking about their childhood, whether they came from like the really bad neighborhood and all of a sudden they're big like Will Smith. Or maybe they came from humble beginnings and then, they became super successful because they didn't want to, continue their dad's restaurant or hotel. So try to figure out what aspects of your life that you're going to share with people to build your reputation. Because your story can't be duplicated, it can't be replicated, and it's going to help you stand out from all the other people that do what you do on this app. Even at work, we all have our personal brand. When everybody comes back from the weekend, everyone starts asking people, hey, what'd you do for the weekend? That's your personal brand. Even if you have a job and you're telling people what you're up to on the weekend, that's your reputation. So if you have a specific goal and you want to build your reputation for drawing or gaming or sports, whatever it is that you are trying to do, just stay focused on doing that. Don't worry about the followers and the numbers and if your videos look perfect, because perfection comes with time. Unless you're a really great videographer or you're a really great video designer, it's going to be really, really hard for you to create perfect videos unless you're actually day in and day out putting your best effort and sharing the best content that you can and taking a look at your views and saying, okay, maybe I can improve this or I can do this. And that all comes with time. It comes with practice, and it comes with being honest with yourself how you can improve. And when people in the comments give you feedback, don't shy away from feedback. I think feedback is a really good thing. There's no way that we can become better at what we do if we're not willing to take the opinion of our followers and apply it to what we do best. Other things that I would recommend when you're building your personal brand is try to be yourself. Try not to put on a certain personality or say certain things because you think your audience is going to like it. The issue with that, a lot of celebrities and influencers, they're being exposed. Some of them, they act a certain way on their channel or their platforms. And then when people see them in the street, they're completely different people. And you don't want to go through that. So when you're building a reputation for what you do best, be yourself. Be your authentic self. Tell your story. Even if it's a really bad story, there's going to be people out there on the app that are going to relate to what you experienced, or maybe they'll just feel for your situation or what you went through in the past, and they'll be admired that you're actually on this app talking about your experiences. So when you're building your brand, remember that your voice is important. Your personality should shine through your videos. How you go about doing that, I can't tell you. I can also sit here and say that if you're nervous to be yourself and build your brand on social media, we all start somewhere. I mean, when I signed up for this app the second week of February, I was really nervous about building my brand and being myself because I thought that all the people on TikTok were supposed to be dancers and singers. And then when I started seeing that there were subgroups of different communities on this app. Hi, Kawai, how are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. So when I started to realize that there are different subgroups and different groups of people on the app, I then started to realize that I could be myself. And then that's when I started feeling more comfortable with showing more personality, doing duets with people that I admire on the app, talking about things I generally wouldn't, but it's a part of who I am. And I think one thing that a lot of people will learn on TikTok, oh, thanks for sharing, Sarah, I appreciate that. The one thing you'll learn on TikTok is you'll go through a personal growth that you probably didn't experience before. If you're an introvert, much like myself, usually I am the quietest person in the room at a party. I do my best not to speak too much, but what I can sit here and say is with time, you'll figure out your brand voice, meaning, how you talk, how you create a conversation through your videos. And once you figure out how to create a conversation through your videos, it actually inspires people to share your videos, much like Sarah did here on the live. It inspires people to leave comments, ask questions, send you messages because they're curious about you and they want to learn more about who you are and what you do. So personal branding, it takes time. I don't think any personal brand stays the same. You can have a personal brand now, and then in a couple of years, you totally do a rebrand, which means you totally change the focus of your message. You change the focus of your logo or your platforms that you're using or how you want to show up on the internet. And that's completely okay because we're all evolving, we're all changing and improving who we are as individuals. So it totally makes sense that if you're trying to be a personality on the internet, you're going to evolve and change too. So maybe in this year, maybe you talk about, I don't know, gardening or gaming or sports. And maybe in a couple of years, your life changes for whatever reason, and you're not really into gaming, sports, or gardening anymore. And maybe you want to talk about the food that you make in your kitchen, or you want to start doing a travel vlog when this whole thing with COVID-19 disappears. And it's okay to change your direction of what you're doing when it comes to your personal reputation, because nobody expects you to be one-dimensional. No one expects you to be the same person all the time. I think it's really, really completely cool and honest and transparent that you show different sides of yourself and you do your best to keep going. Personal branding, it's a journey. So the more and more you learn about yourself and your audience, it will be easier for you to create videos and content that people appreciate, they share and like. And I think at the end of the day, for any personal or business brand, your goal should really be to create shareable content. And shareable content is great because it's really people. Hi, Tammy Martin, how are you? Shareable content is great because it's kind of like your followers and people that like your videos, they're promoting you and working on your behalf. When you create content that people are proud to share with their family, friends, colleagues, business partners, whatever. And so try to create content that people will share. So here are some examples. Try to do news stories or talk about pop culture trends in your industry that you actually like. And talk about your perspective. Oh, I'm feeling good today. It's been a long day. After this, I'm going to actually go to Taekwondo. I do martial arts a couple of times a week. So after this, I'm going to be heading to Taekwondo soon. How are you today, Tammy, and everyone else on the line? And so, what was I saying? So when you're doing your videos or any piece of content on social media, make sure that it is shareable. Some of the examples I shared was news videos, or maybe you're commenting on pop culture and what you think, whether you like something or not. Other shareable pieces of content, I'd say on Instagram, is even videos that don't have your face in it. Now, that's not to say that you should show up on TikTok creating content without your face, but shareable content doesn't necessarily focus on you, but shareable content focuses on, hi Ariana, how are you? Entertaining people and having fun, or you have some kind of a message and you're speaking through your videos so that people will be inspired to share your videos with people that they know. So try to create shareable content. And I was saying earlier, shareable content is videos that don't necessarily have your face in it, or if you're on Instagram, photos and stuff like that that don't have your face in it, that has a pretty design. Because the more people share your content, the more you become popular, the more people learn about you, and you can grow your audience much more easier if you were just kind of depending on the For You page to help you get seen by more people. So make sure that you're sharing shareable content. And when you're building your brand, if you're comfortable, talk about things that you believe in and the things that you don't disagree with in your industry, at school, at work, just as long as it doesn't get you in trouble. Try to be respectful at all times, but if you don't agree with something that's happening in the news, be honest. Also be mindful too that not everybody's going to agree with what you have to say, and you have to be kind of mentally and emotionally prepared for that. I've been watching a lot of the For You page. I keep seeing a lot of stuff about politics and stuff, and I kind of did my thing today. I shared a video about, Biden and Donald Trump, and then I kind of said, I'm so happy that I'm Canadian. But I'm not really going to get into politics because I don't know too much about politics. It's total opposite of my personal brand. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what I normally share, but I'll jump on the bandwagon anyways because it's a trending topic. And even though I don't have a really strong opinion about US politics, I'll still show a bit of it and try to get some conversations going. So sometimes it's okay to do something total opposite of your personal brand and reputation just to get some conversations going and to kind of find out what kind of things your followers like and what they don't like. And then that gives you more information about who they are so that you can create better videos, better photos, and content that really speaks directly to them. So it's kind of hard to do this when you're kind of new, but if you can create content that speaks to your audience, it's almost as if like you're creating a video that is specific to the person that's watching it. And that comes with time. It really comes with creating a lot of videos, being consistent, and also paying attention to our followers' videos to see the kind of things that they're into. Because sometimes on social media, if we're sharing content, oh yeah, I got to 2,000 followers. It has been a 6-month journey. But, I think I started really getting more followers when I just started having fun. I really like doing the TikTok and Instagram news stories. I find a lot of people like that stuff because they generally don't know what's going on with the news. And I think a lot of the followers come through with my duets that I do too. A lot of the Nathan Davis Jr. duets do quite well. And the TikTok news and the Instagram news, those do pretty well for the most part, as long as it has something to do with whether TikTok is going to be banned or something interesting with Facebook. So I try to keep people updated, and I give people more of that because it seems to be popular and people like the news. And some of my followers have told me that they don't really check the news, so they kind of look at me as their source of social media news, which is pretty awesome. And it doesn't take too long to make. But I do find that if we talk about things that people like, it makes them think, it makes them smile, laugh, or it makes them share their opinion. That is the really place we want to be when it comes to social media, because people will appreciate it from us, and they'll know that we're the go-to person for that particular specific topic. And when you become well known for being popular or really good at a specific topic, that's how you start building your brand, your reputation. And when people know you for something, like I said before, it makes it easier for them to share your videos and your profile with people they know. And then it becomes, and if your content's really good, it's kind of like a domino effect. Hi, thanks for joining. It's kind of like a domino effect. So try to create shareable content. You can show your face in shareable content, but usually the word of thumb with shareable content is it has to be impactful. It has to be meaningful to people, or they're not going to share it. And what else can I say about creating a personal brand? Just be genuine to yourself. Be prepared to go in different directions. Sometimes people get on apps and they have a certain hobby, and it's not the hobby, it's just the way they're kind of presenting the information. A Nostalgic Treasure says, I have a tip for every post you put on link in bio. Okay, if your website is in your bio. Okay, that's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that. I was kind of nervous to do that on TikTok. I do that a lot on LinkedIn and Instagram, but I was kind of nervous to do that on TikTok because I didn't want to seem kind of salesy, like I'm kind of getting into sales mode, but I do see people do that. I'm going to start doing that this week when I batch some new videos. I'll do the link in bio. Maybe I'll promote my YouTube channel. I do promote my Instagram a lot, but I'll promote some YouTube videos and see how that traction goes. That will definitely work. And so I have about 8 minutes left. Personal branding, like I always kind of say, it's not so much, we can't control it. We can control what we share out the world, but people are always going to have something to say. Just make sure that you show up your authentic self. You're having fun. Try not to be one-dimensional. Try to show different sides of yourself. We're all three-dimensional, whether we realize it or not. We all have different sides of us. We all put on different hats. We all have a different story to share with our audience. So try to be 3, 4 dimensional and have fun. And most importantly, I would also have to say that the best thing that you can do from a personal branding perspective is to be consistent. Post the same times of the day. If you don't know what times of the day you should be posting on TikTok, definitely switch to a pro account and check it out. I'd also say too, with your personal branding is um, just try to gauge your audience. Try to find out what they like. Try to ask questions to help people really get an understanding of that you're community oriented and that your main focus is not just to produce content, but it's to share content that actually helps people. Uh, be mindful, have fun, and respect your audience. Don't be like some of these celebrities out here where they kind of like are super celebrities and they start, being unkind to their audience on Twitter. Always do your best not to get into an argument on any kind of social media platform, because you might be a non-celebrity today, but you never know. In 2 or 3 years, you might be a TikTok star and somebody screenshots that and they kind of have that over your head. Hi, Dogman. How are you? Thanks for joining. Talking about personal branding. I'm down to my last 6 minutes, but I can keep going. So build your brand and make sure that you're consistent. Your brand goes a long way because that's something people will remember for a lifetime. Even if you become really successful on TikTok and you close the app one day, people will remember that you were the person that talked about this or that, or you were the person that focused on these topics. So when you're building your brand, be yourself, be mindful that your audience will agree or disagree with you, and be consistent. It's something that you definitely want to keep in the back of your mind. That is a big part of who you are and what you have to offer. And don't be nervous. Everybody had to start somewhere. It's not easy to build a brand. And yeah, that's it. I don't see anybody on here. All right, enjoy your evening. Bye.